Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to be talking about 10 things you need to start doing in order to become a better player in Warzone. Now before we jump into the video, I would like to remind you to please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel with notifications on for more Warzone content like this. Okay, so the first thing on the list would be the slide cancel. If you're not doing this or don't know how, then you are at a big disadvantage. Warzone has been out for 6 months now, and face it, the lobbies are getting sweatier by the day. Now, what does slide cancel mean? If you don't know already, it's when you slide while running, but cancel it right away. So it's like a half slide. The benefit for doing this is that you make it harder to aim for any person shooting at you from a distance, as you're constantly changing direction vertically. An additional benefit would be that when you slide cancel, it gives you almost unlimited tactical sprints so you can cover more distance faster in an open field. It also comes in handy when you're trying to get to cover while getting beamed by someone with their trusty Bruin or Kilo from 100 meters away. And we all know how that feels when we get down by that person. Okay, so how do you do it, you ask? It's simple. First, you have to make sure in your options your slide behavior is set to tap and not hold. Now, the way to do it is to go to Options, Keyboards and Mouse, Movement, and check for the slide behavior option and set it to tap instead of hold. Once we have made sure of that, the next thing you need to do in-game is simply while sprinting, you tap your slide key or button to initiate the slide and tap it again to cancel it. So basically you're double tapping your slide button or key to do this maneuver. It will look like this.
Watch the skies.
Now you can practice the slide cancel in the pre-game lobby or in the gulag or in Plunder to get it perfect and to make sure you're moving the best way you can. The second thing is don't stand still. This is very important in 1v1s especially. Standing still makes you an easy target for people to shoot at. They don't have to do much to down you even if it is an even fight. Either when you are in a 1v1 gunfight or just scoping out an area for enemies, don't just stand still. Standing still makes those sniper headshots so easy and satisfying for your enemy. So to avoid that situation altogether, you just need to do one of the three things, if not all, when you encounter someone. First thing would be your 80-80 spam on the keyboard or left-right movement in consoles. Basically, you are just moving left to right and vice versa while shooting someone or scoping out an area for enemies. It's also known as strafing left and right while shooting. The second thing is drop shots, which is simply going prone in the midst of a gunfight. This will throw off your enemy's aim and they'll need to adjust it mid-fight. This particularly comes in handy in close to very close quarter gunfights, since your enemy has to adjust their aim over a larger vertical distance. Third thing is jump shots, which is again simply jumping or bunny hopping when in a 1v1, which will make it harder for people to be locked onto you. This is more useful in the longer range encounters, being further than 10 meters. Now, if you're not doing at least one of these maneuvers during a 1v1, then your enemy has a massive advantage over you, especially when they are doing these. Make sure you practice these movements in multiplayer, or if you don't have the full game, then you can always practice in the pre-game lobby, or even in Plunder, where you don't have to worry about respawning. It will take some time to master, but make sure you keep practicing.
Nice.
Now, the third thing on the list is ping your enemy. Warzone has a system of pinging or marking spots or objects or enemies on the map, and they are visible in your line of sight as well. So why not use this to your advantage? It comes in handy especially in squads when you have to communicate to your teammates where the enemy is, if they haven't spotted them yet. Now you need to make it a habit of pinging enemies while shooting at them. This will mark them with a small red square and will move with them for a couple seconds, also known as a live ping. So if you don't end up downing that player, you or your team still knows their position. Now to live ping an enemy, your aim needs to be right at them, and the next thing you do is tap the spot or ping key or button, and they will be marked instantly. Another advantage of pinging players is that it shows you the distance they are at from you. Double tapping your spot key or button also puts a red square on the map, indicating an enemy, and if your aim happens to be at the enemy, they will be marked with a live ping as well. Number 4 is peeking doors instead of slamming them open. Audio in this game can be very tricky sometimes. You might miss someone's footsteps or hear shots in the distance giving you an impression that an enemy is close when in fact they are miles away on the map. But one thing you will never miss is the sound of a door being slammed open. You will definitely know that someone just entered your building or house, or at least the one next to you. So slamming door or smashing through doors can be a good thing when you are in a hurry to get indoors for cover, but if you really want to be stealthy, you need to start peeking doors open. Now, peeking doors open is not the same as running up to them and opening them. That will make lesser noise than slamming the door, but your enemy will still know that someone just opened the door. So you need to peek it open. The way to do that is to simply get to a closed door and aim down sight to it, and then press the open or use button or key. This will open the door only a crack without making much noise, and you can walk through that door without letting your enemy know that you are in their building. Now keep in mind, if you just peek the door open only a crack and press your sprint button right away, it will still smash it open all the way. So don't do that either. You need to walk through the door to open it. Next thing is loadouts. Get these loadouts early. Loadouts are the most important thing in Warzone, not only so you can have your custom weapons, but also for the 3 perks you use. So it is very crucial to pool your money as a squad and get that loadout as early as you can. It gives you a massive advantage over the enemy teams, and it comes in handy when the other team already has your loadout weapons, so you can have an even fight. The first free loadout drops on the map within 150 meters from you, around when the first circle is 12 seconds away from being closed. You can always wait for that if you don't have any options, but that loadout also comes with certain risks because they usually drop in open areas and usually have more than 1 boxes, meaning that there is going to be another team pushing for one too. Having your own loadout already means you can get your overkill loadout first, so you can carry 2 primary weapons, and then when you come across your free loadout, not only you are fully equipped for a fight, but when you do get it, you can pick a ghost class and get invisible to UAVs and heartbeat sensors. Now my suggestion is to get an overkill loadout and then get your ghost loadout later with the free one. But if you want, you can always set up your loadouts so you have 2 ghost loadouts with 2 different weapons that you want to use, and then pick your main ghost loadout when you buy it, and then later with the free one you can pick your other ghost loadout, giving you the advantage of having the ghost perk throughout that time frame. Number 6 is ego fights. Don't ego fight. Be smart about it. You don't know the level of skill of the enemy player. They could be way better than you, or way worse. Don't assume the latter. Whenever in a gunfight, don't always charge the enemy and end up getting killed, causing your team to be down a player in a fight that should have been even. Always reposition if needed to get that advantage over the enemy team or player. Don't peek the same angle twice unless you don't have a choice. And if you don't have a choice, then you need to reconsider your movement strategy. Always have a bailout plan. Number 7 is don't always run away. Now, don't be afraid to bail from a fight you think you can't win, but don't always run from one. 9 times out of 10, a player shooting you in the back while you're running away isn't expecting you to turn around and start shooting back at them. So do that. Shoot back at them, making them reconsider their actions. Who knows, you may even outsmart them and kill them instead. So get into that cover, play it up if you need, and make the enemy reconsider their actions. Always reposition, even in situations like this. Number 8 is master the parachute. Master the parachute to get to the ground as quick as possible. It really comes in handy when your team is going for a particular contract and you are racing another player dropping alongside you at the beginning of the game, and it comes to whoever gets to it first. It will also help when you need to get to the ground as fast as possible to acquire a gun and eliminate that enemy squad before they have a chance to pick up a weapon. It's tricky to perfect that exact moment you need to pull your parachute, but when you do master it, it will be second nature to you. I would also suggest having the auto deploy option for parachute turned off in the settings menu, so you have more control over pulling that parachute instead of it going off on its own. Now number 9 is practice your movements. Now all these strategies and techniques won't work if you don't have the chance to practice them in real in-game encounters. So I will suggest to always practice them in the pre-game lobby. If you really want to get better at the game, you need to practice. All the Pro COD League players are considered pros because they practice practice their movements and perfect them within game practice. So take the time to practice all these movements in either the pre-game lobby or join a match of Plunder and practice them with your own loadout in the Warzone map and location that you find is particularly difficult for you. You can use Plunder mode to test out different attachments for your weapons and also test them against enemies. Practice makes perfect, and if you put in the time and effort, all these strategies and movements will subconsciously be ingrained in your mind and your muscle memory. Last thing is play as a squad. Play as a squad, don't be selfish. Use proper callouts and clear directions. Even if spectating a teammate, look for things that your teammate might have missed. If you're playing in a squad, you need to make decisions that benefit the team and lead you to a win. Just playing for kills and not thinking about your team will not make you a better player. Warzone is a battle royale, and the objective is to be the last team standing, which doesn't always translate having the most number of kills. If you play with that strategy, you might as well play multiplayer, but if you want to play Warzone, you need to play as a team. So don't run away alone, separated from your squad, chasing kills. You might end up getting killed and being a liability instead. Don't just start shooting someone without letting your team know about them. When your squad was playing things more stealthily, don't go smashing out windows and slamming doors open, giving away your position. Communication is key here. Make sure you know the proper callouts like spotted an enemy, downed him, thirsted him, or eliminated, broke armor. Let your team know that you are running a loadout that is not Ghost so they can adjust to that gameplay. Sometimes marking a spot or enemy doesn't always help. You need to properly describe the enemy location in detail. Even when you are spectating your teammate, don't just sit there idle. Try to look at the map, think of your next strategy, look for things that your teammate might have missed. Maybe an enemy was spotted in their peripheral vision and they missed it. In the end, just be a better team player. Even if you're not as good as everyone else in your squad, they will appreciate any help they can get with proper communication. And it goes without saying, please have a mic and use headphones to get that best audio in game. It is very important. So there you have it, guys. 10 things you need to start doing to become a better player in Warzone. Hopefully this little bit of information will help even a little bit. Please leave a like if you learned something new today, and even if you didn't, hit it anyways. Please consider subscribing with notifications on. And until then, goodbye, namaste, Khuda Hafiz, ciao. This is Rocky signing out. Thank you and have a great day.
The danger is real.
This war was a lie. Years of blood. Just to light the fuse of a secret war, decades in the making.
Yeah, Vietnam.
My fellow Americans, a nuclear conflict could well be mankind's last. We want to make this a more peaceful world.
5 days ago, we acquired intel. Soviet agent Perseus is in play. If he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that could shift the balance of the Cold War.
Let's go find this shithead.
Mr. President, is the threat real?
Yes, sir, we believe it is.
Give Mr. Adler whatever he wants.
This one's part of the plan!
I know you won't fail us.